Does it go in the trash or the recycling bin? You've probably asked yourself this 1,000 times, but why? And what does it really mean? In this video, we're going to discuss how recycling impacts our economy, our environment, and more importantly discuss why is recycling so important?
Recycling seems like it should be a real simple question to answer, and it will be.
This is Lisa Kotz. She's the education coordinator, and these are your recyclable items. You have cardboard, paper, plastic bottle, HDPE plastics like a detergent or a milk jug, an aluminum can, tin can, and glass.
Recycling is conserving natural resources by turning them back into a new product. So what happens is, once you put an item into the recycling cart, a recycling truck comes and picks it up and brings it to the materials recovery facility. We call that a MRF.
And this MRF she's referring to? Well, we're actually there right now.
So here at Cal Waste, our process is pretty much we have our recyclables coming in through a transfer truck, gets dumped onto our tip floor. Our loader operators fill our hopper, which feeds our MRF. We're gonna start feeding the material into our number 1 hopper. That's the start of our recycling process right here.
So this is where all your recyclables end up. The recyclable material gets separated and sorted by machines, people, and optical sorters. Optical sorters are highly advanced systems that are programmed to separate the recyclables. They use infrared lighting to analyze the chemical compound of each material and then blast it away using air jets. This separates the recyclables before they get baled.
How this baler works is there's actually a lid up here on the top. There's sensors that fall onto the lid. As soon as it reaches a certain point on that sensor, the lid's gonna open up, drop it down into the chamber. At that time, it's gonna be compressed by the gatherer. It's gonna do about 7 strokes, so that means 7 compressions. Once it gets to that point, it's gonna pop the bell out, ejects the bell out of the system, and it's gonna wire tie it. We're making our PET plastic, our HDPE tin can, aluminum, cardboard, and our rigid, our hard plastic bells on this baler.
So where do all these recyclables go?
My name's Chris. I work with Amcor Rigid Packaging. Within Amcor, recycling is especially important because it allows us to use consumer product that has been previously used and reintroduced into the system, as well as post-consumer regrind.
So in this case, the plastic bottles are shipped away to get reprocessed and manufactured again.
We process that through our silos using vacuum and blower conveyor systems. We run that through a drying system to get out any moisture before we start processing it into preforms and finished products. We service the food and beverage industry, as well as dairy products as well.
That plastic bottle you placed in your recycle bin gets to have another life. This is good for the economy and helps protect our environment.
We want to make sure that we're not generating any waste to landfill. We want to make sure that our ecosystem footprint is minimized. We want to protect our waterways, our airways, our landways, as well as the life that lives in those ecosystems.
And that's the beauty of recycling. All of these recyclables you see here go through a similar process and get to be made into new products. But what happens if we don't recycle properly?
That's my bigger concern, and I want to know what the department is doing.
Again, it varies on what happens, the contamination. We know that when you're out on the collection routes and your garbage container, if you have a 30-gallon can or a 60-gallon can and you have a party that weekend and you have extra garbage, that extra garbage sometimes ends up in the recycling container. We can't stop that from happening.
And he's right. Contamination is defined when trash or liquids get placed in the recycle bin.
It could be auto parts, yard decorations, garden hoses, a lot of liquid that would contaminate all the paper in that load. I mean, it's...
And it's a big issue because it could be costing millions of taxpayers' money. It's expensive to pull out garbage from recycle streams, especially when hazardous waste gets placed in the recycling bin. The people who are sorting the materials can be in danger. Needles or acid from a battery can harm workers. Recycling is important, especially when it's done right. According to Stanford University, recycling soda cans saves 95% of energy compared to raw aluminum. That's 40 barrels of oil. That's enough gas to fill up 63 cars at a full tank. According to the California Environmental Protection Agency, recycling bottles and cans in California combined are enough energy to power up to 522,000 homes. That's a lot. Recycling conserves energy, oil, and protects our environment. This keeps prices low for manufacturers and consumers. Just remember to not contaminate your recyclables. Items that shouldn't go in your recycle bin are batteries, coffee cups, styrofoam, clothes, plastic bags, shredded paper, or pizza boxes. They are not recyclable. And this is just one reason why we need to invest more into recycle education.
There's an ongoing educational effort, ongoing focus on the need to separate into those sources, and so those things that go into trash properly should be discarded. Those things that go for recycling allows them to be properly sorted. And repurposing of certain products and materials, California is seen to be a leader in many respects. And then I think certainly looking at the impacts environmentally, but also the economic development opportunities, and certainly the quality of life for Californians and for all of us, whether we reside here in Sacramento County or elsewhere throughout the state. With that, I would just encourage us all to do our part, and together we'll make a big difference.
There is so much we can do to change the world, and who knew recycling could be the first step? If we all work together to make a difference in our homes and communities, it'll be one step closer to a cleaner and brighter future.